Hey everybody, Halloween Matt here. Today I'm gonna be doing not a haunt build, but a haunt layout video. I still will include this in my haunt builds playlist, even though this isn't a haunt build. It still is haunt progress, because now I have the official layout done, but it isn't technically a haunt build. So I'm gonna get right into this video, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, real quick, before we get actually in the layouts, I wanted to say that I will leave a link to my Instagram in the description, because although that this is my first year doing this kind of haunted house on YouTube, it is not my first year doing this kind of haunted house in general. I've been doing a haunted house in my basement since 2020, believe it or not. So I'm kind of used to, alright, what's gonna go here, and I'm kind of used to the layout in general. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I will leave a link to my Instagram in the description, so you can check out my previous haunted houses, where you can sort of what the other haunted houses I've done down here like, and sort of what you can expect for this year. But let's get into the actual build now, or the layout. So, back here, we're gonna have, well, it kind of in the doorway, we're going to have what I don't know the exact name. It's a life-size skeleton and it's holding a lantern. It's actually my channel icon, so that's cool, but he'll be here. Like I said, I don't know his exact name. I really wish. I will probably if I get a chance, I will post a video of him, like a demo of him at the end of this video, and how about this? I'll post a video of him at the end of this video. Whoever can, and I want you all, like, to comment what his name is, because, like, his official name, because I've always just called him Skeleton Holding Lantern, but that works when I'm, like, referring it to, like, family, but when I'm referring to it to haunters, I want to know its actual name. So, that will be there. I'm also probably going to have a sign somewhere around here. Don't mind that Henry Hustle just stopped by. But I'm going to have probably a sign that says, whatever this sounds really bad, but I actually don't know what my official name for the haunted house is. Decide before September 1st. August 31st is my deadline to figure out exactly what the name is. It's going to be something campground, probably just a scary word, campground / lake. This year's haunt theme is a campground / lake, which means that I need a lot of props that fit that, and luckily I do. Some of them do stretch the whole campground thing a little bit, but it'll still work, as long as people are getting scared and it doesn't look like I just put a clown in an abandoned cabin. I don't really care about the rest. Besides, it's impossible to have every animatronic fit your display perfectly. I mean, animatronics are going to say things that don't exactly fit, or, they're going to look, maybe that doesn't exactly fit for what you're trying to go for, but it's all good. As long as people are being scared and you don't go put, like I said, a clown in a cabin, I feel like that it's all good. So yeah, I'm going to put the skeleton holding lanterns, I'm going to call them for now, right here with the sign. And that's sort of your introduction, just what you can expect. Then people will turn. Those of you following my Instagram, you probably know that this was open before. Well, for those of you who did come from my Instagram, I am planning on changing that this year. And what I'm planning on changing it to is having another curtain here. Because what a lot of people were saying when they were going through the haunted house is that you went through this section. Henry Hustle just dropped that. But, you went through this section, and I'll get to what's going to be through this section in a minute, but you went through this section, and then it was just open, so people were thinking, alright, we just did a full loop, but then I'm like, alright, we gotta go in here now, so, and that was kind of weird. So I'm planning on putting a curtain here to make it a little more obvious that we're not done with the display yet. But because just to walk through my basement, I don't want to have to go through the entirety of the haunted house. I will probably have I guess, actor or just sort of a family member only kind of doorway here, so I can kind of get to different places of the haunted house if need be and stuff, or just so I can be down my basement, sort of. Alright, so, now, moving on to in here. Now, this is something that is known as the narrow hallway. For the previous 2 years, this has kind of been, I guess, known as the toy hallway, but this year I am changing that. The bikes will probably also be moved when we start building. They're just there for now. But this is probably known as the toy hallway, but this year, since it's going to be a cabin in the woods, I'm planning on maybe making a few, maybe cardboard trees, putting them around here, and then jumping spider probably right there, and sitting scare witch right there, or vice versa. Pretty much. I know which animatronics are going to go in here, I just don't know where they're going to be placed. So now as you exit out of here, this is sort of just the transition into the next hallway. Now, the next hallway, you turn this way, but before that, you remember 2021. Although it was very rainy, like the days leading up to Halloween, I had an outdoor display, like sort of you walked out for a minute, but I decided after 2021 I was going to continue it for 2022, but I never really got a chance, I felt like I was okay with the change. I mean, it was supposed to just continue, that was going to be the layout, but I decided I don't want to have to just cancel a whole portion of the haunted house if it starts raining, so that isn't going to happen this year, but it was happening for 2021, this was part of the layout. But you're probably wondering why I'm referring to it. Well, although that you won't be able to walk out here, I still do plan to have an animatronic out here that you look out of. Oh, why? And that animatronic being Darling Dolly. Now, I didn't think of this before, but I think that that's over 7 feet. Yeah. The only thing is we'll have to carry her in if it starts raining, or every night, but that's not too bad. It's better than having people walking out, and if it starts raining, having people having to walk through the rain and stuff. I feel like that's a better option. Moving on into here, a bunch of these animatronics, this one, and Charlie over there, will be moved out of here. None of them, I mean, maybe Possessed Wall Hanger, but that's a little bit of a stretch. Well, not really a stretch, but I don't feel like having her in the haunted house this year. The butler, here's something that I'm a little bit wondering about. Haunted mansions and cabins in the woods have very similar themes. They're both kind of haunted, ghost type stuff. So a lot of these animatronics, I might think, is that more cabin in the woods or more mansion type? But let's move away from that. Is that over here, now, this is something that was actually a last minute decision. I'm actually planning on having Man's Possessed Friend. This is the porch area. Let me start off by saying that. This is going to be sort of a porch. I plan on making a little bit of a porch there, so you're almost walking in to a cabin in the woods. A creepy abandoned cabin. I'm planning on having Man's Possessed Friend, who was actually something I just decided to do. I'll explain that when I actually get over to the animatronic. And Zombie Swing Girl. Zombie Swing Girl I do have set up, but she's actually up in my closet right now because I needed to make a little bit of space so I could film this layout video pretty cleanly, I guess. But let's walk in. But alright, so you're pretty much just gonna walk through a curtain, but I'll probably make it look like a door. So you're gonna walk through The door, as I'm gonna call it. In here, I actually think I have 4 or 5. I think it's 5 animatronics in this room now. This is a big room, so I am glad. This room goes from, I guess, the edge of that, pretty much the edge of that, to where that bike is. So this is a big room, which means I need to have a lot of animatronics for it. And luckily, I think I have 4 or 5. 5, yeah. So those animatronics being Miserable Marie, who will probably be right here. Lurching Zombie, who will probably be right over here. Abandoned Annie, who will probably... Actually, Abandoned Annie will probably be somewhere around here also. Lost Her Way will be on static, but she'll be probably right there, near Dead Fred. Dead Fred will not be in here. That's stretching Haunted Mansion to its peak, so I'm probably not gonna have Dead Fred in the haunted house. Now, something else is that over here, I'm gonna have Young Hauntress most likely, because it would seem a little weird if you're walking down this big hallway. Why would an animatronic jump to the side? It would probably lunge forward at you. So although it will be smaller, hence the name Young Hauntress, I still think it'll scare people. Now, as you exit here, like I said, I'll probably put a curtain right up here, and you'll walk into this room. Now, this room is going to be the lake room. This room is going to be this room is the last room you visit in this haunted house. And I wanted to make it cool, so I'm probably going to have a lot of effects in here. I'll probably make something big so I can have it a lake. And what I'm planning on doing is probably right over here, if I had to guess. Evelyn Leach. Because Evelyn Leach, you might be thinking, that's more of a, mansion. Yes, it is. Right? But it still fits a lake. Like, people have weddings at lakes, right? Still, ghosts haunt lakes, pretty much. You know, that's where all the ghost stories are told, so I can see Evelyn Leach haunting a lake. We're over here now. This is what I'm kind of concerned about, is in this kind of small room, I have to find a place for Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, I feel like I might have, like, almost like he's crawling out of the lake, which, I just thought of that. That's actually a really, like, scary idea, is, like, you never know what's underneath the lake. Who knows, maybe there's a Nightcrawler under there. Dude, that's actually cool. So, I might actually do that. So, that's sort of my plans for this room. Now, I almost forgot to mention Man's Possessed Friend. Man's Possessed Friend, he wasn't originally supposed to be in the haunted house, but I finished setting him up and I was like, I mean, he can fit on a porch, why don't I just have him in the haunted house? You know, I don't see a reason not to. I can have as many... I could use as many animatronics as I can get for this section, so, you know, I decided to put them in, and that worked out, because I believe I have 12, maybe 13. I'll leave a number right here, but I believe I have 12 or 13 animatronics that are going to be in the haunted house this year, which is great. Because originally I was only supposed to have, like, 10, and, you know, they were most of them weren't going to be on. So, but now, I'm honestly feeling like this haunted house is going to be amazing this year, and that I'm really, really going to enjoy it. And by September, I'm hoping that most of it will be done. So, thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye. He's bald.